Hi there, I'm Laura from 5 out of 4 Patterns, and today I want to show you something that I am working on for the holiday season. It's a quick gift. It's great for a stocking stuffer, great for something last minute. You can get this done super fast. It is a key fob. Now normally we think of a key fob as the key actually with the buttons on it that we have for our vehicle. We push the button. That's a key fob. Yes, that's a key fob. But I also call this a key fob. It is a piece of fabric that is kind of like in a loop. It's in a loop, and this swivel clip is at the end, so you can put your keychain here, like the ring itself goes in here, and then you can hang it on your wrist. Makes it easier to find your keys in your purse, things like that. Not to mention, people really like these, and they're just a fun gift, and you can use some really great fabric that people get really excited about. So all you need are 3 things plus a sewing machine. All right, so you need a piece of fabric and a piece of interfacing. This is Pellon SF101. It's what I prefer to use. Each of these needs to be 3.5 inches by 14 inches. So 3.5 by 14 inches. You need a swivel clip and you need a sewing machine. That's it. Let's get started. All right, the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to press our interfacing to our main fabric. So make sure that the bumpy side or shiny side of your interfacing is facing the wrong side of your fabric. Now, some people will ask, do I have to use interfacing? That is like an inevitable question. And the answer is always no, you don't have to, but it's not going to have the desired stiffness that you need. It's going to be super floppy, and that is not what you want in this key fob. So even if you have something lightweight, super lightweight, that's fine. SF101 gives, to me, the perfect amount of stability to the fabric. All right. Now, I have a little extra of the interfacing on the sides and the top here. So I'm going to trim those off. Keep your iron close by because we're going to use it in the next step. So we've got a nice stiff piece of quilting cotton. I'm gonna grab my iron again. The next thing we're gonna do is turn it so it's right side down, wrong side up, and we're going to fold it in half like a hot dog, so long ways. And we're gonna press it really well. Open it up, okay? So we've got this kind of fold here in the middle. That's a guide for us. So we're gonna take one of the long raw edges, the long ones, and we're going to fold it to the center. So we're going to meet it up to that, that little pressing point, that pressing guide. And we're going to press it again. I mean, it doesn't have to like lay, it's going to open up a little bit, but just because the fabric is more stiff now than it was before, but that's okay. All right, we've done that. I like to flip it over just because it's easy for me. We're going to take the other raw edge, long raw edge, and we're going to do the same thing. Take it to that center pressed marking there and give it a good press down here. Now, keep the iron close by. We're going to take those raw edges and we're going to use those creases. That's the word I've been looking for. To help us. Now we've got it this way. Now we're going to fold it again so that we fully encase these raw edges in that center crease. And so we're going to press it again. All right, now that we have that pressed, we can put our iron away. Let me grab my clips. Now you don't necessarily have to use clips if you don't feel like you need it, but for those that do, we're going to clip these together. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to head over to our sewing machine using a long straight stitch. We are going to edge stitch down each of these sides. So down this side, each long side is what I'm trying to say. This side, and then again on this side. And I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. We've got our strip. I've stitched down both of the long sides. Now we're going to take our swivel clip, and we are going to feed our our strip of fabric through that. Now we're going to meet our raw edge, and you can see how we've got, how it's looking here. Okay, and now we're going to go to our sewing machine, and we're going to match up our raw short edges here, and we're going to sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance across this raw edge to connect to make our opening here. All right, here we are. Here's my stitch here, and I back stitched multiple times back and forth because I want this seam to be really strong. So you're going to trim any little threads you've got. Now what you need to do is you need to trim your seam allowance down to about 1/4 inch. Okay, give or take. Okay, now you want to turn it right side out. So you want this raw edge here to go to the inside. So that means you're going to have to turn it within the swivel clip as well. Okay, so here we've got this this circle. We're not done because we do not want to see this raw edge. So we're going to bring our swivel clip all the way to that seam. And I'm holding it straight up here. So you've got the swivel clip here, the flat edge, and we've got our raw edges. What I like to do, so it isn't bulky just on one side, I like to open up that seam allowance and get that flat edge of that swivel clip in the middle of the seam allowance. You can see there. So I've got fabric on either side of it. Because now I've got to sandwich that best I can, and sometimes it wants to pop out. That's okay. All right. Let me grab a pin. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to head to our sewing machine, and we are going to stitch across here. We want to get as close to the swivel clip as we can without touching it, because for obvious reasons, if we touch that with our needle is going to break and we could do some severe damage to our sewing machine. However, you may be tempted to skip this step. You don't want to do that. You need this seam here to keep this from moving around all over the place. You need it. So let's go to our sewing machine and let's stitch as close as we can to our swivel clip. Let's stitch all the way across. Okay, I've clipped my threads and I'm done. So here's how it looks. It fits perfectly on your wrist. I like to wear it and I kind of hold my keys like this, but if I happen to drop them while I'm shopping, it doesn't go anywhere. It's also easy to hang on a hook at home. It's a fun, useful little project that most people really, really love. I know I love mine, and I'm giving away a ton of these as gifts this year. One of the other things I wanted to note was this stitch across here, this top stitch to hold our swivel clip in place, I backstitched multiple times because I want that to be strong as well. Remember, all the weight is going here, and you're going to be taking your hand in and out of this thing, and you're going to be putting stress on that seam. So you want to backstitch several times, okay? But anyway, there is your super cute, super awesome key fob.